Chic moms, some of them rich moms, some of them need a stitch. I gotta say there's some of them chic, chic moms. Chic moms. Chic moms. Chic moms. Chic moms. Some of them chic, chic, chic moms.
Hi, mummies.
Welcome back to another episode of The Chic Moms.
Okay, let me start.
Alright.
Episod ini ditajakan khas oleh The Chic Korban. Tahun ini, jom kita menjalankan ibadah Korban 2026 bersama The Chic Code Podcast.
Working with direct suppliers, The Chic Korban offers goat, cow and camel livestock from Uganda, Indonesia and Saudi Arabia at a very affordable price from $130. Whether you are from Malaysia, Indonesia or any other country, you can also fulfill your Korban with us.
We also offer Badal Haji package at a very special price of $999. You can WhatsApp at +65 8980 1443 sekarang to place your orders. While stock lasts, as we only reserve limited livestock from our supplier counterparts.
The Chic Korban ibadah made simple and affordable for everyone. Yes, korang kalau korang nak jalankan korang punya ibadah korban, do contact the number below, whether you're in Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, London, mate. Semua boleh. Just +65 lah.
Kalau London made kan dia. Betul. And this is like the cheapest, right, Fika?
One of the more affordable ones in the market. Yeah, sebab kita work with direct suppliers. There's not a lot of overheads for our team to bayar. It's just one of our way to give back to the community. So do contact the number below if you belum start lah korang punya ibadah korban.
Betul. Aku nak tahu harga dia berapa.
Ada ni price list sebesar kat banner sini.
Oh, ada nampak nampak.
Tapi kalau korang nak Jane baca, boleh juga.
Tak apa, kau dah nampak. Tak payah nak kecoh-kecoh.
Okay Jane, hari
baru
ni
terfikir sebab yelah before tutup kos nak buatkan untuk keluarga ni.
Yes, masih ada time. Alright, hey mate.
Hey mate.
My mate Jane Shaw.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we talking about today?
Let's catch up on emails.
Okay.
Aku ada satu email ini quite touching, okay? Ibu, the strongest woman I have ever known.
Okay.
I like this kind of macam title.
I love when orang macam celebrate their moms.
Betul. So boleh aku baca, Fika?
Boleh.
Bismillah. Cik goyang rambut.
Sorry kalau aku tak pandang kau sangat, kau tak comfortable. Aku side eye je.
Okay, boleh. Aku pergi depan Oh, lupa. Wire ni patut ke sini. Dia busy. Boleh. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Kau kecoh nak baca satu email. Nampak sama, Fika. Hey Jane and Fika, I wanted to share something personal with you about my mom and how incredible strong she is as a wife. Honestly, lidah terbeli. Honestly, she's the toughest woman I ever known. I love both of my parents, I really do. But if I could turn back time, I want my mom to marry someone who truly love her. Oh. Okay, it's getting real. Love her the way she deserve. Even if that man, I would not exist today. Oh, he don't mind kalau
Her father tak exist.
Yeah, cause they feel like mak dia patut marry someone. Okay, may aku sambung I'm not telling the story to make anyone hate my dad. I just hope that any man who hear this will reflect, learn something and do better for their own family. Sorry if this get a bit long, but this is something that been sitting in my heart for so long. He want all the men out there to learn. Okay? Both my parents used to work before they retired. But even when I was younger, I could already see things that did not feel right. I'm the youngest of 4 and the only one who really witnessed a lot of a lot of this, dia cakap. And the only one who really witnessed all of this, growing up, my dad would often get angry at my mum. Anywhere, anytime, and at home, in the car, especially when we were out together. Oh, bapak dia boleh flare up anywhere bila dekat luar. Can you put yourself in that figure? Kat mall, tiba-tiba bapak kau marah, then mak kau mesti rasa malu kan?
Of course.
Dan kita kids will macam terkejut, kenapa bapak aku marah mak aku?
Yeah.
This was always something that he complained out and shout about. Back then, I thought maybe that just how all dads are. But as I grow older, I saw how my friend dad treat their wife with patience and kindness. I realized it was not normal. My mom was a teacher. She left home at 7 a.m. and only get back around 6 p.m. Because her school was quite far, and yet the moment she stepped into the house, she goes straight to the kitchen to cook for my dad. He loved requesting fried rice at night, and no matter how exhausted she was, she always gave her full effort. She never complained, but somehow it was never enough. He still got angry. Oh my.
Bapak dia jenis cambaran.
Baran macam dia tak tolong tau. Dia tak put himself in the mom dah balik kerja penat. Aku rasa bapak dia sadis lah. Macam, you know what, you kau isteri kan, kau pergi masuk dapur, kau masakkan aku nasi goreng.
Sadis is crazy.
Fuck, if a man macam wife kau balik dah penat, then you ask to go to kitchen and cut bawang, I would cry sia.
Lepas tu kau instead of appreciating, kau pekik-pekik. Oh, this is a toxic punya dynamic.
Marah kan Fika?
Marah.
Macam kau dah penat gila. I know you love to cook, okay? But kau dah balik kerja penat. Laki kau ni nak fried rice.
Yeah. That's why macam sometimes kau tahu you came from a toxic punya family. Sometimes it's okay not to rush to wanting to have kids on your own. It's okay for you to family plan, so kau boleh heal what you need to heal from growing up in such environment. Kau faham tak? Yeah.
Okay, aku sambung
kau sambung dulu.
Because of that, I was never really close to my dad. There are many things that hurt me growing up, but the story but that story is for another time. Please share. Aku nak tahu more. People can judge me if they want. Say I'm a bad son or whatever, but I know what I have lived through, and I know my parents better than anyone else. There were moments, especially in the car, when it was just the three of us, when my dad would insult my mom with really harsh words. I remember feeling so helpless and heartbroken. My siblings never saw this side of him, so they won't carry the same perception. To them, he just a strict or hot-tempered dad, but I saw more than that. Watching all this affect me more than I realized. As I grew up, I become someone who get angry easily. Diorang parents ni tak sedar, it will transfer to the kids.
Yes.
And the kids will carry this trauma.
Yes.
Okay, aku bersambung. I become someone who get angry easily. And the worst part, sometimes when my dad scold my mom, I also end up being cold or distant towards her, even when she did not do anything wrong. I was angry at him, but I took it out on her. Macam bapak dia teaching the son
Yes.
Oh, that's not good Looking back, that break me. She had me there someone she could ever lean on, but instead I push her away even when my siblings argue with her. I sometimes side with them and ignore her too. I regret that so much. Mamam
lapar ke Jen?
My mom had been so patient with all of us, even though everything saya cuba lagi sekali. Through everything. So mak dia dah bersabar dengan dorang even though dorang buat apa-apa pun. I pray that God grant her the highest place in heaven. She truly deserve it. When I turned 20, I start to be more mature about it. I began standing up for my mom, whether it was against my siblings or even my dad. I don't care anyone how they saw me. Macam he just don't care lah. Macam kalau dia set mak dia, what people think about him.
Yep.
Tapi kenapa kena the thing about that Macam he's doing the right thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
My older siblings are married now and have children. I notice how my dad interact with his grandchildren. When they cry in public, he get irritated, tell them to be taken away or assume they just need milk. But baby don't cry for just one reason. Their parents understand them better. From moment like this, I realised my dad probably was not very pleasant when we were young. Oh, dia macam keep on having flashback.
Yes, actually kan, I want to insert something here. There is this saying that goes like this. Dia cakap kan, how your parents show up for your kids, how a grandparent show up for their grandchildren, is it shows how they feel about becoming a parent. Do you get what I mean? So kalau kau punya grandparents, macam kau punya parents tak layan anak kau, that's how actually they felt about having you. So diorang tak nak, diorang tak suka ada anak. Or does it make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe this is what he trying to say.
Exactly. So which is true to what he shared. Macam that's how he showed up as a parent because he didn't enjoy being a father.
Betul.
That's why being a grandfather he hates it also.
Ya, macam anak kau ni nak susu lah, macam annoyed. He get annoyed.
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense, Fika.
Alright. Let's go. Continue.
Okay, bapak dia was not pleasant when we were young. It was my mom who... Oh, okay. From the moment like this, I realised my dad probably was not very pleasant when we were young. It was my mom who carried most of her responsibility raising all of us. Betul lah, Fika.
Betul kan?
There's so much more I could say, but even this alone feel heavy. My mom had stayed in this marriage for almost 36 years. I know she's been hurt, but she endured it all for the sake of the family. I love you so much, Ibu. I'm sorry for the time I failed you. I know you've been hurting, but you still gave us nothing but love. May God reward you with the highest in Jannah. Amin. And to my Ibu, I'm sorry that I'm afraid of getting married. I'm scared I might turn out like that. After everything I have seen, I do not know if I can break that cycle. I also feel like I carry wound from growing up without a father love. Sometimes I get confused about myself, about my feelings. Maybe it's just me trying to make sense of everything. I know it might sound like excuses, but I'm trying to figure things out. Please pray for me and I find my way, that I grow up into someone better and that I learn to let go of this anger inside me. To all the mothers out there, you are incredibly strong, and to anyone with a loving, understanding partner, that is truly one of life's greatest blessing. That's all from me. I hope you both stay happy, surrounded by love and warmth from your families. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Wow. How old lah bang ni?
Itulah, she like your mom is sometimes from their generation. I feel like they are not self-aware of their own unhealthy traits and patterns and perangai, and they think that they have to be a good person is to just sabar and just accept. And while it's important to practice sabar and accept, sometimes you need to know when to walk away, because like you said, dia akan tempias dekat anak kita.
Betul. Macam
Yang-
kita tak sedar, tapi
Yeah.
anak kita will hold this sampai bila-bila.
Yeah, I think you are someone who's self-aware, and since you're self-aware, then you are strong enough to break the cycle, break the pattern, do the shadow work that you need to do to overcome whatever traits you think you might inherit from your dad, because again, this is learned behavior. You can unlearn it. Dia bukan dalam DNA or genes kau. The fact that kau tahu that this is not wrong, this is not something you want to carry into your own marriage, that means you're a step ahead than your father already.
Betul.
Yeah. The good thing about your mom is that she has you. But walaupun dia tak dapat suami yang kind like some of his friends, but I feel like the gift that she has is a son like you, so you continue that part lah. Since she's not going to leave for 36 years dah together, she's not going to leave, so you just show up more for her and find someone who is on the same level as you, yang sefrequency lah, so kau tak ada this kind of resistance and lesser how to say macam friction nanti. Yeah, But I think work on yourself first before kau jump into sebab kau ada banyak isu sekarang. Kau jump into a marriage, leceh.
Yeah. That's the word. Don't jump into marriage. Fix yourself, fix your emotion. First of all, he's not a bad son at all because he don't know the parents, the dad lah tak show him the right way of love.
Ya, sometimes kau budak, kau tak tahu yang actually is bukan salah kau tau kau buat perangai gini
Kau
semua.
mirror bapak kau punya character.
Exactly.
Even all the siblings pun macam ikutkan bapak dia. Padahal mak dia tu, cause mak dia tak voice out, anak dia tak tahu yang actually bukan mak dia. They will only know when they grow up. Like he say. Sebab dia macam curious aku rasa. Macam kenapa mak aku kena marah At 20 years old baru he realise that actually bapak aku toxic.
Yes.
Bapak aku not treating my mom the right way. Betul tak Fika?
Betul.
Yeah, so you are not a bad son. At least you know that your mom actually dia dah closure tau. Dia tahu bukan is the problem is the father. So now what he need to do is kalau find a partner, don't do what the father do lah kan.
Yeah, and dia pun sedar. And I think your mother loves you enough. A mother's love, dia unbreakable. It's without conditions. So dia faham like and because dia cakap dia sorry, like I didn't love you, you know, dia tak sedar.
Aku rasa this is something that he hold in his heart.
Yeah.
Tapi now he just let go. This is what he feel.
Yeah.
So I think this is a closure for you lah, abang.
Yeah, and move forward with being more present and much more love with your mom. Tapi you nak kena tahu jangan jadi the son yang nanti lupa tanggungjawab isteri dengan ibu pula. Because your mom's punya happiness, her nafkah, all this is all by your dad. Nafkah batin pun semua bukan like she shouldn't pass on all this to you lah as a son. So you kena a lot of work for you to do, but I think you're in the right direction by, you know, sedar, having the self-awareness.
It's good that you have self-awareness. Kau tak continue that bad trait at your new family, Fika?
Yeah.
That one a bit hard when you want to break the chain.
Yeah, and your mom actively choose to be in that marriage, so she needs to know that dia kena
it's not your
accept,
fault lah. You need to have your own future now, your own family. So learn from your mistake, move on, move forward.
Yeah, move forward is the most important. Yeah.
Betul.
We doakan yang terbaik untuk you bang. Let's move on to the next email yang kita dapat. Recently kita ada actually another mail punya quite a few mail entries for our email.
Oh yeah, actually I saw that.
Tapi aku tahu aku kalau panas kan dapat title meal. Jenis
apa meal lagi?
Hidup aku jenis boring, tak ada drama. So aku macam nampak meal aku macam sensasi, hangat. Pasal this one title dia A Mean Girl Mother-in-Law.
Ooh, sassy.
Spicy. Alrighty, so this title, A Mean Girl Mother-in-Law. Hello ladies, please keep me anonymous. I just listened to your episode 42, Mother-in-Law from Hell, and even though I'm not a mother yet, I felt called to share my experience with my husband's mother, if my story fits any of your segments. Let's call them my husband, Adam. Adam ke Adam?
Adam sounds naughty.
Adam Brody lah. My mother-in-law, Mummy. Okay lah, kita panggil Adam, you dah Mummy kan? At first glance, Mummy is the kind of woman people admire instantly. She's in her 50s but carries herself like she's in her 30s. Walk and sit straight up, disciplined with her skincare, fluent in both English and Bahasa. In her younger days, I can imagine her as that lady in a red kebaya kind of beauty.
Oh, with red lipstick.
Boleh imagine When Adam decided to marry me, Mummy gave her full blessing. She loves to pour me with beautiful gift because for her, our style and preferences aligned. She gifted me a beautiful silk shawl, a silver bracelet, even a pair of pointy heels. All in all, everything that fits to my liking. She came across as what people today would call a girl's girl. I thought I was incredibly lucky. But a month before the wedding, I started to notice a small cracks. Subtle at first, then hard to ignore. A few weeks before the wedding, I found out that behind my back, Mummy had questioned Adam, "Why did you buy her a gold bracelet? You're not even married yet." Adam was stunned. That bracelet was meant to be a special gift for me on our wedding day. Mami ni. After I was selalu have a hard time pronouncing this word. And cakap Robert
Solemnization.
that
Solemnization.
things escalated. Whenever Adam got busy with work and took longer to reply to her messages, she would accuse him. Why are you so quiet now? Someone stopping you from gossiping with mommy, is it? Ew, I don't like that.
Mommy. Okay.
Mommy is freaky. Lucky me, Adam will stand up for me and only reply to the question and not attending to her tantrum. Ladies, for context, I'm not much of a texter, but Mummy is the complete opposite. She sends messages in a family group chat every single day. In my point of view, if something didn't require a response or wasn't directed at me, I wouldn't reply, mainly because I'm occupied with my daily 9 to 5 career at construction site. But to Mummy, that meant I was ignoring her. She started screenshotting messages I didn't respond to and sending them to Adam, saying I was ghosting her, then blocking me on WhatsApp. Astaga.
Petty makcik.
Free makcik Kau dah retire ke masih kerja ni? Dah retire ni. Another turning point was about vaping. Both Mummy and Adam used to vape, but after we got married, Adam chose to quit out of respect for my personal standard and asthma. But whenever we visited Mummy, she would watch Adam closely and make remarks like, "Oh, now got people scolding you for vaping, is it?" Yes, the law. Adam would calmly respond, "Mummy, my wife has asthma. I'm quitting not because she forced me, but because I care about her." That's when I realized this wasn't just about small misunderstandings. It felt like quite competition for control, for attention for her son, and that was only the beginning. It's heartbreaking to see a girl's girl now turning into a mean girl vibe. You get what I mean? But I will stop here before this email turns into a full version novel. But I like to leave a note to mothers out there, especially mothers-in-law. Mothers, love doesn't have to run into competition or possession. Your son will always be your son. That will never change. What changes, he won't stay little forever. He will grow, build his own life, make his own choices, and that's something to embrace, not to control. Loving him also means respecting the life he chooses and the person he chooses to build it with. Thank you for reading XO. People who shouldn't have children, if you think that they're not going to grow up and be their own people, making their own choices, even though how hard it's going to be, don't breed for those people yang tak boleh accept that truth. Yeah.
Tapi like she said, the mother-in-law bought her the pointy shoe.
At first macam love bombing gitu. Kan?
Jahat makcik ni.
Oh,
Mami, sorry.
Mummy macam love bombing, and sometimes betul lah, it's hard to tell sebab kau fikir you walk into a green forest and then the family pun green forest.
Tiba-tiba pokok dia gugur.
Tiba-tiba dapat tahu plastik punya pokok beli kat Daiso.
Diorang fake it. They painted a canvas macam it's a beautiful canvas tapi end up
Wah, itulah, but sometimes it's too late lah.
Painted. Ya lah Fika, I understand that lah. So what she need from us? Advice?
Nothing.
She just luahkan perasaan dia kan?
Yeah, luahkan perasaan dia. So just
she know what she want lah. Basically macam she just saying that mak mentua dia
mean girl lah.
Mean girl. Kau patutnya teach anak kau the good things. Anak kau tak vape, kau should be happy about it.
Exactly.
Tapi ni kau nak ajak kaki pula.
And you know it's harmful. Like if you want to harm yourself, that's you, right? Yeah, that's your vice. But jangan libatkan orang lain lah. Don't harm others also. If you smoke and you know your friends are not smokers, kau tak payah ajak kawan kau pergi isap rokok because your friends are, taking in the second-hand smoke. I feel that's very unkind of her, very irresponsible as the grown up. Macam the older woman, you should be more wiser, but you're not. And I don't know, girl, stand your ground. You know what's right, what's wrong. And if it's masih baru kan dalam marriage kau better stand kau punya ground now.
You're a mean girl.
Girl, if you're mean, I'm gonna be meaner. If you go low, I will go to hell. Gitu. Ajar yang bukan-bukan je. Ni benar-benar pakai sweater. This episode.
Let loose.
Let loose. Tak lah, tak. But masih baru ni kau kena betul be firm with your boundaries Sebab kau dah tahu dia love bomb and it will just only get more toxic from there.
Betul, you gonna escalate. But it's good that anak dia macam stand. Dia tak mommy boy sangat
Yeah, fight her with logic this kind of people.
Yeah.
Macam, yeah, betul lah. Like the vaping is gonna cause me asthma and my husband loves me, so that's why dia tak nak vape. What about it?
Mak dia just geram anak dia tak ikut cara dia.
Yeah, tak payahlah. Like raise your children well and understand that they're going to grow into their own people with their own life and let go. Tak payah nak sibuk-sibuk. Nak ajak menantu vape bagai.
Mami, kalau kau dah panggil Mami, kau dah tahu what kind of character.
Dia dah kasih nama Mami kan?
Mami Jombi, okay.
Okay, next email.
Boleh aku baca ni? Dia quite panjang tau, Fika. Are you ready or not?
I'm
I
ready.
read, please?
Okay.
Mengadap bos Saswe masa pregnant really piss me off.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah, you can do that.
So, hi Fika and Jane. Thank you for reading my previous email. Oh, we read her previous email. Giving suggestion on what to do with my sister-in-law yang copycat tu. You remember?
Oh, yes.
Today I nak ceritakan pasal my working experience masa I mengandung anak ketiga masa I pregnant with my third kid.
Okay.
I ada alahan.
Alahan, betul lah.
Melayu pecah, English pecah. Okay, bear with me ya. I ada alahan yang sangat teruk. Teruk yang sampai I pernah pingsan depan my boss during discussion and meeting. Oh, that's not funny
Yeah.
Not only once, but a few times until I request for 1 month unpaid leave.
Okay.
My boss agreed and said with no will not disturb me. Boss dia agree and takkan kacau dia. Tapi kata-katanya hanya didusta. Oh, dia Melayu Tapi kata-katanya hanya didusta. Baru sehari I on leave, dia dah call. Tipu siapa? Didusta, that's a big word. Minta I ambil laptop and work from home. Penipu sah.
Kau punya boss ni.
I said I could not. He said okay. Then the next few days he called me and asked the same thing again. At that time I was admitted to hospital. He said he will visit me and bring the laptop for me.
Kena bawa flowers.
Aku ni nak bawa flower tau. Sekali bahalul lah doktor dia ni. Laptop for me. I said the doctor asked me to rest. My blood pressure is too low and HB apa?
High blood lah.
High blood also low. I asked the doctor to talk to my boss. Dia dah suruh doktor berbual dengan boss dah while.
Yeah.
Since the day the doctor talked to my boss, he never call ask me to do work again. Not bad. 1 month pass and alahan I dah makin okay. I start working as usual. First day I masuk kerja, my boss already assign me a few project. Time goes by until one day air ketuban I is leaking. That time I tengah check up dekat klinik and they said I need to be referred to hospital. That time I only 28 weeks pregnant. I need to be admitted and doctor kata I kena stay hospital sampai I bersalin. I called my boss to inform that I will be hospitalized. Then here we go again.
Okay.
Ni boss dia cakap, can you bring your laptop to hospital and finish your project? I need to see your project progress every day. Me, dia jawab, cannot boss, I'm here. I cannot use a plug. They don't allow me to charge my handphone also. I charge my phone using power bank only. I bring laptop. How gonna charge my laptop like that, boss? Dia cakap. Boss dia jawab, you just go do your work lah until the battery run out. Boss dia
Aku dah macam gini tau Jen daripada tadi. Aku dah geram tau ni dengan boss dia.
Ini is not a laughing matter It's a serious matter.
It's ridiculous like people like this exist in the world.
Tapi kalau kau yang went through it, hati kau sakit tau. Kau kat
Faham.
hospital ni nak beranak. Sialah bos aku, so aku bawa kerja. Okay, aku sambung.
Kau sambung dulu.
Bos dia cakap,
Aku tak tarik ni dulu. Tarik rambut dia.
sekali bos dia botak. You just do your work until the battery run out lah. Then ask your husband to take the laptop back home, then charge it for you lah. Next day, send it back to you, and then you continue doing work until the battery die again lah. Bos dia
Walane.
do until the project finish. I did not answer. I'm totally pissed. I just ignore it. I stay only a week at the hospital. Then doktor kata I boleh balik sebab leaking tak banyak. To avoid leaking semakin teruk, I kena banyak bed rest, avoid doing many activity and angkat benda berat. I go back to work as usual until lah the day I sakit nak beranak. Salah. Beranak is bersalin. That time I was 37 week. Contractions start at 5 a.m. My husband took me to the hospital and I was admitted. While waiting in the labour room, my boss called. Soalan yang bos tanya I takkan lupa sampai bila-bila. Bos dia cakap, you dah nak bersalin ke? Boleh hold sekejap tak?
Sabar nak. Jangan keluar.
Bos dia ni memang desperate tau.
Pathetic sia. Macam apa ni? Even surgeon tak ada this kind of urgency macam bos dia.
Sampai doktor dah berbual dengan bos dah wild tau.
Sialah.
Sama you tahan dulu dari aku rasa bos dia tak ada anak. They just fikir about dollar sign.
Oh my god.
Okay, aku baca balik bos dia susah. You dah nak bersalin ke? Boleh hold sekejap tak? You tahan dulu dari bersalin. Pujuk baby jangan keluar lagi. The last project is due tomorrow. You need to finish it by today. Dia suruh pujuk baby janganlah keluar.
Oh my god.
Mi, tak boleh bos. Doktor dah tak bagi I keluar sebab kalau aku masih baik hati. Okay bos, pergi site. Dia cakap,
shook.
tak boleh bos. Doktor dah tak bagi I keluar sebab contraction dah start. I'm already 3 cm. Boss, it's okay. You cannot go out. You ask your husband to take your laptop to you. Oh, laptop.
Oh my
Me.
god.
Cannot boss. Doctor won't allow it. Besides, my project is already done. I'm already pending the report part. You may ask my assistant to complete the report and submit to you. Boss dia jawab, no, I want you to do it. You ask the doctor first whether you can use the laptop for a while or not.
Geram saku.
Kebetulan ada doktor lalu. I panggil doktor and tanya, boleh tak kalau I nak pakai laptop untuk finish my work? Doktor terus marah I. You sedar tak you dekat labor room ni? Dekat labor room
Exactly. Dia dah contraction. Bakal kau masih nak ya Allah.
Can you imagine kau dah tengah sakit-sakit kau pakai laptop? If you that,
Aku tengah macam nak push lah.
Okay, kena send.
Buat Excel macam okay.
That's
Buat
bad.
pivot table. Busy. Aku pecahkan satu company laptop.
Berapa dia bayar gaji? Aku resign sekarang.
Oh my god.
Doktor terus marah I. You sedar tak? You dekat labor room. No other device are allowed except your phone. Then I told my boss that the doctor would not allow me to bring my laptop. Then my boss said, useless.
Ya luas. Sampai aku dah mencarut dah. Astaghfirullahaladzim.
Then he hang up. I sedih, but I malas fikir masa tu. Kau tengah nak bersalin, kau need a good energy tau.
Kan? Masih nak
That is pressure sah.
Oh my god.
I thought taking MC only pressure. This one giving birth sah. I just focus on delivering the baby. Once I dah bersalin, I told my husband yang I dah give up with the job. And after maternity
Jin dah tahu okay.
After maternity leave, I will resign.
Yeah.
Sepanjang I maternity, I switch off the phone. I use my new number. Sialah bos kau.
Kau dah kena busy tau. Ada new number.
Sepanjang kita dah off handphone dia, orang yang tertentu saja ada nombor baru I. Once in a while baru I switch on the old number to reply message. Itu pun waktu malam. The last day of my maternity leave, my office mate called me and informed me that my boss had been terminated because many complained.
That means dia is the person that function. Boss dia tak function. So bila dia dah turn off dia punya work punya phone, the fact that the boss kena buang, that means dia betul-betul like doing the boss punya job.
What the hell? That's right, Vika.
Kan?
And then bila dia ni, that's why bosses chase dia. Sebab he's a useless F.
Yeah, he's the weakest link in the company, I think.
She's making use of this girl where she's capable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Okay, dia dah kena buang lah boss dia. Because many complain about his attitude. I feel relieved. I continue kerja di tempat yang sama with a new boss. Kalau you tertanya kenapa I tak resign awal-awal, sebab before this I never had any issue with my boss. My first and second pregnancy, he was so good to me. Only my third pregnancy, he been like that. Maybe the masuk hospital where he need her, because she always complete the job.
Yeah.
Maybe because he really told me to not get pregnant. Cukup lah, only 2 kids. Suka hati kau je.
Hey.
That's all my story for this time. Thank you for reading my email. I hope your podcast will be successful and last forever. Also, please stay pretty. Bye.
Thank you for
Dia pun suka
sending
cakap bye.
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 Next question.
Thank you for sending email. Boss kau memang another level lah.
Baguslah dia kena buang kerja. I'm so glad bila like nasib kau tak cakap kau stay with the same boss, because we would have to block you.
Yeah,
I like angry. Bye to you. Tak lah, joking. The fact that kau ambil unpaid leave and you have to work, you should have like said, then I'm not on unpaid leave. That means I'm working from home. So therefore, kau kena negotiate a pay. Betul tak? If you're unpaid, Jane, kau kena buat kerja. That means kau tengah kerja lah.
Aku rasa boss dia desperate sebab dia tak boleh kerja.
Don't make your problem into my problem, because I know my rights. It's important for you, not just employers, but employees, kau kena tahu kau punya rights. When you kerja tu, yes, kau kena ada responsibility. But when you're leave, you're sick, just draw the boundary to focus on your health.
Betul, but I'm glad she took a new number. Imagine kalau dia masih ada handphone, the boss dia keep calling dia. So sampai boss dia dah kena buang, means the problem oh.
Yeah. And yalah, it's a sign that you memang pekerja yang, you know, pekerja contoh lah. You care about what you do. That's why you macam okay, nak kena ada laptop, nak kena buat kerja. You feel the guilt of not doing your job.
Sampai doktor kena berbual dengan bos dia.
Yeah, but kau kena draw a line lah.
Doctor talk to my boss. Doctor, my boss asked me to do work.
Aku ada cerita. Actually, aku tak not that shocked because I had a colleague like that. Colleague, if you're watching this, write in your story lah. Sebab aku was there when the doctor berbual dengan dia punya boss. Crazy to say that kau tak boleh get, like this girl is sick, she can't work. Get someone to send her things. And then this lady, she was still arguing, no, she need to come and collect her things herself. And then kita colleague said, it's okay, we can send her things to her. Write in your story, babe. Ada bos gini. That's why aku feel a bit affected, because I know people like this yang tak tahu macam mana nak respect other people's human rights. Sakit.
They can go to the extent to push people.
Yeah, kalau doktor semua berbual dengan bos kan, kau tahu kau kena leave that job.
Bos tak faham bahasa saya. Bos tak boleh. Lu tahan dulu, jangan beranak dulu. Boleh tahan lagi 1 hari tak? Besok project finish. Oi. You sayang-sayang tu baby, jangan keluar dulu.
Yeah, just shut down your phone. Kalau you rasa tertekan dengan kerja you and you know you're off working hours, you just switch off your phone, switch off your number.
Toxic ya.
Kau kena fight for company. That's why work phone is important, especially kalau suka-suka message off working hours ni minta company phone.
Oh actually true
Yeah.
And then kau nak main handphone pun dah tak, bila on WhatsApp online.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, aku suka bos lama aku.
Wait.
Dia akan marah kita.
Kalau pakai handphone.
Tak, kalau email dia lepas 6 PM.
Oh.
Like, why the hell are you guys emailing me at 6 PM? You think I don't have a family? Can you guys just take it easy? Macam kita, bila kau ada boss bagus, kau yang nak do the extra mile. Macam okay. Tapi dia akan marah kita like, get it together. Like, aku takkan reply korang at 6 PM.
Wow.
Yeah, which is good.
Contoh.
And from there, actually kita belajar to set workplace boundaries. So, she also tak marah kalau kita tak reply to like clients or what after 6 PM. So, she said that only a crazy person will expect you to reply emails at night. So let's like prioritize lah hidup kita.
Betul.
Kan? Aku suka, and I learn how to negotiate, how to set workplace boundaries. Macam aku on annual leave, there's nothing urgent yang life or death or office terbakar yang kau nak kena email aku during urgent leave, which aku terbawa in my new job. Like, yeah, that's true. Bila aku on annual leave, don't expect to hear from me.
That's why kau on the ball Past experience kau baik.
Betul. Like, I had Alhamdulillah, a lot of business women, successful business women yang mentor aku and ajar aku. Like, okay.
That's good. No wonder. She's very disciplined and fast. Pak settle.
Oh, Papa.
Dia aku macam masih naik bicycle. Aku belum post.
Oh, pasal
Dan aku anxiety. Dan aku macam tak nak reply.
Oh tak, sebab aku tahu bila aku there's a certain time
Kau
aku tak akan
on
layan.
sia.
Aku on sebab ada time aku off. Aku tak nak orang kacau.
Kau on macam certain timing. Then dapat kau dah senyum.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
It makes sense now.
Ya, kita on lah together, Jen.
Betul. Fika caption apa Ni tak boleh Jen. Aku macam betul. Then kau macam no ni tak boleh. Do on sia. Caption tu baik. Macam
Merepek je. Tapi
otak
kau
kau
ya.
geliga.
Sebab yalah. Okay, next ada time tak? Aku tak tahu nak cakap apa dengan Jen kadang-kadang. Puja-puja kan malu lah.
Baca
Malu lah. Oh, wow. There's one more email about infertility. Nanti kita continue this conversation
Ya, send email lah kalau korang ada. Cerita-cerita gerik.
Okay, kita tak ada time untuk email, tapi kita ada time nak cakap pasal kita punya next content. Kalau korang nak tengok aku ngajin buat apa-apa content, mommy, kids or even beauty content, korang leave lah in the comment what you guys want to see us do. We'll make time for it. And
Kita dah buat kan yang baby food tasting
baby
tu.
food. And then the next one kita nak buat is we have recommendations for children book, the mommy punya spa.
Oh, yeah.
And then yang ni kita nak buat taste test pregnancy.
Dah ada orang send.
Banyak. Kau nampak jari aku ni pada tadi?
Korang jangan kasi wal-wal tau.
Tak semua kita boleh try, but I just want to highlight some of the crazy things you guys ask us to try.
Damn.
Or your crazy weird pregnancy craving. Sebab ada benda kita tak boleh. Ada telur penyu. Mana aku nak pergi beli?
Dulu aku makan dekat Batam.
Aku nangis. Dulu, it's illegal by the way. It's illegal now. Dulu aku suka makan time aku kecil-kecil. Aku tak tahu tu telur penyu. Bila aku tahu, aku nangis. Aku dah gagging. Aku ingat ada penyu dalam perut aku.
Tapi taste dia is best. Kau kena
Tak nak kelending. Yeah, but ada telur penyu. Being respectful, but I resented my grandma sebab she didn't tell me that it's telur penyu, and she keep making us eat whenever we go Malaysia. Okay, ada yang pelik-pelik aku nak share. Kau nampak Anjin? Scary kan?
Isyulah. Ini kelakar saya. Boleh cerita satu tak?
Boleh.
My sister mengidam nak makan gajah.
Aku nampak.
Makan gajah is wild. Her husband belikan keychain gajah dekat Thailand. Bolehlah dia gigit-gigit keychain tu.
Aduh, ada nak makan sabun. Banyak korang nak makan sabun.
Makan
during pregnancy.
sabun yang bentuk kotak.
Bentuk kotak. Ada yang bau Dettol. Kau ada tak, Jen? Generation. Ada yang kita boleh buat sebab it's accessible to us nak beli ingredients ni. Tapi kalau kau dah suruh aku beli telur penyu, tak boleh lah. But thanks for sharing with us. Ada there's a few yang
Kelakar. I love the smell of petrol station.
banyak cakap petrol station.
I love also
I love the smell of petrol station. Walaupun tak pregnant. Yang kelakar, there's 2 ladies cakap diorang craving nak buat mathematics. Aku tak boleh tahan. I need to find the comment. Kita unfortunately Jane dengan aku tak akan buka aib sendiri buat math on camera. But it's so funny because there's more than one person yang teringin nak buat maths time pregnant. Kau nak kenapa?
Ya Allah.
Allah.
Ada orang wild yang makan lemon raw macam gitu. Buat macam mandarin orange. Macam kau tu main kopi-kopi.
Same, I was like that. But with lime and aku nak kena cecah salt. Sedap saya.
Masin satu.
The masa masin. I'm gonna buy that and make Jane try tomorrow.
No.
Ni I craving buat algebra and mathematics exam. By the way, I'm a graduate in mathematics.
Itu
Lagi satu, not food, but I was craving to do secondary school maths paper. I even downloaded the papers online.
Kau mesti budak smart kan?
Kenapa? Let us know like what your kids nanti
Actually aku tak tahu orang pelik-pelik macam gini.
kelakar gila. This one I'm gonna save some to
Baca.
prepare for Jane tomorrow bila kita buat content.
Fika, ni satu-satu. I suka bawa obat gegat.
Gegat
Tu
apa?
obat lipas yang busuk. I sampai too obsessed, I letak tepi tilam.
Babe, that can't be good for you and your baby to consume that fumes. Petai dip in Nutella. Aku suka petai, but that's too wild, bro.
Petai dip Nutella. Petai sambal aku masih boleh terima.
Petai raw aku masih boleh terima.
Petai letak Nutella dah jadi dessert sah.
Ew.
Pistachios ke apa?
Vanilla ice cream with Kewpie mayo, which we're gonna try tomorrow, Jane. I'm so sorry. We have to try all this. Onion with Nutella, raw onion with Nutella.
Toasted and durian is wild to go.
That's too wild. That's gonna stink up the office.
For my life.
Yang ni kita tak boleh try, but last one aku baca I craving nak main Mortal Kombat sangat-sangat sampai sanggup beli extra controller PS5 and semua kalah dengan I.
Oh, Mortal Kombat
Ada kelakar saya Max Paper dengan Mortal Kombat.
Too much.
Okay guys, those of you yang nak menjalankan ibadah korban for this year punya Hari Raya Haji, you can contact +65 8980 1443 to place your orders while stocks last. So korang kena cepat ya.
Betul. See you guys the next one. Bye.
Flying kiss. Bye.